Congratulations, Melody, for
Ay, thank you. Salamat. Thank you so much.
being part of this significant movie. It's not only funny, but very significant to most Filipinos. So
Yeah.
talk about why is representation important in Hollywood?
Oh my goodness. I just think it's so important to and exciting to hear diverse stories, to hear all everyone's backgrounds and everyone's experiences. Growing up, I didn't see images of Filipinos. And if there were Filipino performers, oftentimes they weren't playing Filipino. So to actually have an opportunity to tell a story with a family that's so uh, just wildly diverse and fun and funny and has food that looks like mine, and to know that that background is being shared in such a beautiful and uplifting way is something that I didn't even dream of when I was a kid. I never saw. And I remember even when I had started working professionally, I was told, oh, people don't know what Filipinos are. They don't know where the Philippines is. So don't expect to play Filipino. You should maybe change your name or learn Spanish, and maybe you can go for Latino roles and things like that. Those were the kind of guidance that I was receiving. And so to be able to tell a story that feels so at home is really fun and exciting, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
And it took a Jo Koy, a comedian, to do
Mm.
it, Steven Spielberg. So talk about working with Jo Koy, and did you ever meet Steven?
I did not get to meet Stephen, and the time of COVID, travel was very, very restricted. But he, certainly sent his love and support throughout the entire process. Joe Coy is one of the kindest, most generous, obviously funniest human beings alive. He feels so very deeply, and it shows in every moment that we were on set. He was just lending his love and support, and from day one had such a sense of pride and honor to be able to share this story and to share the experience with a cast full of Filipino Americans. And he just like, it says it starts from the top. He just led with that and led with that joy and led with that gratitude from the very beginning. And so it kind of shined throughout the entire cast. There wasn't a lot of battle of egos. Everyone was just wanting to make each other laugh and wanting to support each other. And Joe was really great in kind of leading with that attitude. And for someone who is so funny, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He feels like so deeply, and the knowing how hard he's worked over his 30-year span career to get to this point was such a gift, and to be able to witness that and support it and be part of it was really incredible.
And tell us a little bit more about your character, Tita Yvonne, and, and how
um,
did you get the role?
well, I submitted a tape. They had auditions just like with any other project. And at first, my when my manager sent me the breakdown, I thought, oh, I think maybe this character needs to speak Tagalog. I'm not very fluent in Tagalog. I know a little bit, so maybe I should audition for a different part. Um, but then like when I read the script, and it felt like, oh, I know this person, and I know these words. I can throw a little bit of Tagalog in there, because it's just so much of my family. But I play Tita Yvonne. I play really in the line of the generations. I'm Joe's older cousin, and Eugene Cordero's older sister. And so I'm a tita to Joe Jr. And so with extended families and with big Filipino families, there are so many different um, uh, different backgrounds and how people kind of come together as a family. Like for example, I was born in the U.S. My brother was born in the Philippines. You know, I have cousins who were born in the U.S., but then their or their older siblings were born in the Philippines and then immigrated later. So yeah, so I bring big tita energy. There's a lot of when I approached the role, I felt like there was a lot of my mom there. She's like the one who wants to have a good time, who's like, you know, trying to find out who's dating who, you know, like, okay, who's your girlfriend now? You know, that kind of energy. And she's the type of person who, just, just wants to bring a lot of love and joy and celebration whenever she walks into the room.
Oh, you sang Islands in the Stream during the karaoke scene. So, how good are you in karaoke, and what's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my goodness. I love karaoke. Like we were singing karaoke before it was known as karaoke. We had the -1, we had the singing machine. My dad would go to the Philippines and for trips, and then he would come back with cassette tapes and lyric books and oh my gosh, I love any and all of that. Um, let's see, my go-to karaoke song would maybe be Pat Benatar, Love is a Battlefield. I love the like 80s rock anthems. So that's one of my go-tos.
And how did you work with Tia Carrera and Lydia Gaston? How
Oh my
was it
gosh.
working with them?
Amazing. I mean, Tia, so in the story she plays my mom, Tia is legendary. I remember seeing her in Wayne's World when I was a kid and just, first day I was a little intimidated because I've grown up seeing her and seeing her incredible work and her incredible body of work. And but before we started shooting, we actually did have a day where we took family photos. So, like throughout the house, you'll see family photos. So, we had a day of just picture taking and hanging out and joking. And she is just such an incredible light. We would just crack jokes with each other. And I remember her kind of stepping back and looking at me. And she's like, "You're funny." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, your career things are funny." And that was just the beginning, but she's always lovely and kind and generous and has incredible pearls of wisdom too, just from being in the business for so many years. She always just leads with love and support and lifting people up and always leaving a kind word and it really left such a beautiful impression on me. And Lydia, I had actually never worked with before, and I'd known her, from just the theater community. I'd known of her, but I had never worked with her before. And she is so fun, so funny. She is such a Filipino mom. She was so great. We'd go shopping, and she'd have her extra bags to put things in, and she'd have her little kind of little bucket hat, and we go to protect from the sun. And but she's always looking out for everyone. She was very much a matriarch, and she'd come by. She's like, "Oh, do you need extra fruit? Do you need extra vegetables? I have some." She'd come knocking on my door. "Here, take this, take this." Like super, super generous, super maternal. And then in the meantime, she'll be like doing her ballet exercises in her, in her room and things like that, because she started out as a ballerina. So what's lovely about this cast is everyone came from such different backgrounds and experiences. Lydia and I came from a really strong theater background, doing a lot of live theater, and then other people, obviously Joe and then Joey Gila, were stand-up comics. There are people who had, a lot of experience in sketch and improv, and then people who have, run the gamut from doing comedies to extreme dramas to action adventure. So to have all of these people come together and create this family and support each other was really incredible.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Melody, and thank you for joining us today.
Ay, maraming salamat. Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat.